Hey, Econ, what's going on? Just kind of a heads up. Yesterday we took that quiz. I'm in the process of grading them. Had some help from a cadet teacher in the afternoon, but I just want to make sure that you guys. I'm going to try to have those back to you guys tomorrow, just so you guys are aware of where you guys stand, along with some grade reports. I think that's important for you guys to do. But anyways, I'm just downstairs in a training session in the front office. So you may see me around the building. You may have seen me around the building. But I am here sort of today, and I wanted to make sure that you guys had an introduction here. Now, this is a perfect time for us to for me to not be here and to give you guys some room. All right, so the one thing that we're going to be doing today, and this is the one thing that we're doing, we're not working on our circular flow diagrams. I want to make that very clear. All right, we are not working on our circular flow diagrams in class today because we'll be presenting those tomorrow. So you guys have 3 hours this afternoon of what would be normal school time to kind of work on that if you need to be. Anyways, what I will say is I will say that the introduction to graphing today is a good starting spot and a good kind of part because this will really act as somewhat a pretest on some of your ideas about what you think we're doing. And that's kind of a nice thing, but it also kind of brings back in how we are as a class going to be going over supply and demand and the graphing of it. All right, now this is a really important topic in econ, and historically it's taken me the longest part of the whole year for kids to get grasp and understand this. So I just want to make sure that you guys are kind of in it for the long haul. So give me the shot today. Let's get this done. I found in the last 2 times that I've taught this class that teaching it this way by introducing all of the graphic before you guys have to do it is a tremendous assistance in the long run for it. So getting started, what I'll have you guys do here is read just a little bit. You guys will notice here that this is a question that you guys will answer. You guys will come back to that. I just basically want to make sure that I go over exactly how I want you guys to be graphing. Again, be on the lookout for these questions in the corner here. They are questions that I put on there that I need you guys to answer. Make sure that you guys are getting those answers into place. All right, and we start to kind of see that going. All right, again, here's another question. I apologize. More questions will come at the end, but please, 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 please pay attention to all of these questions. All right, so what we see with that is just kind of there. Now here's where you guys get to start practicing, and I want to make sure that I kind of assist you guys in understanding how this practice kind of works. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by labeling my axes. All right, so what I know is I have price on one side and I have quantity on the other. And for some of you guys, this may be old news. You guys probably figured this out many times before. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start kind of by labeling what it is here. Now, I want to keep my increments neat and the same, even if my numbers aren't necessarily neat and the same. All right, my biggest number is 65. I've got 3 spots. I'm going to count by 20, 40, and 65. All right, I do have 4 pieces of data that I have to do. Now, my quantities are a little bit different, right? I go up to 100, so maybe it's a good place to start with 25 here, 50 here, 75 here, and 100 here. All right, so kind of a good starting spot there. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to go to my points, right? On my quantity axis, I'm going to cut over to 50 and up to 20. There's my first dot, all right? The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the price point of 35. But Mr. Mars, we didn't label a 35. No, we didn't label a 35, right? So what we have to do is we have to use our best guess to go to where this point would be, all right? So here we are. It's kind of closer to the 40 than it is the 35. It kind of gets us there. You'll notice that we sold 75 units there, and that's exactly where I placed it. Now next, we're going to go up to $50. Again, there's not necessarily a point there, and we want to be careful because our quantity is not going to go that far over this time, right? So we're at 85, so we're going to jump up to $50, which I'm going to try to put right between the 40 and the 60 there, kind of in the middle. And then the last number is the price of 65, which is going to be slightly above, and it's going to be on that last line there. So now that we have that in place, what I can do is I can go and I can trace the distances between these two. And what I've done is now I have successfully graphed for this assignment. And that's what you guys will be doing today. Now this is the first one that you guys obviously just saw me do. So there's no excuse at this point, all right? And as you guys work through this, you guys will have a chance to do a couple different ones, a couple different styles, and I'm going to bring you guys to where we have 2. All right, again, question here that I need you to answer. So make sure you guys get that answer down for me. All right, here's another 2 one. It's a little bit different. Question here. Need to make sure you guys answer. All right. So when we get here, what we're going to do is, again, I am going to start by labeling my price. My highest price is 15. All right. My lowest price is 5. So maybe I need to count by 5s here. So 5, 10, and 15. All right. Now again, I happen to luck out there, but you'll notice that my middle prices, one of them's a 13. I did not label that on my axis, and I want to make sure that that's really clear for you guys. You can't just put it in there because you'll always have a straight line. All right. And the goal is not to always have a straight line because that doesn't give us an accurate depiction. So here my highest one is 50. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I've got these 10 lines. Ooh, that gets a little tough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 15s. All right, because I want to make sure that it kind of fits here. So I go up to 45 here, and then my last one is not 50, it's going to be 60, all right, because I'm counting by 15. Let me make that a little neater, all right? So there's my 60, all right? So now what I'm going to do again is I'm going to go through and I'm going to plot my points, all right? Now, the important thing here is I have to treat this as 2 lines, all right? So at the first line, I have to plot 40 at a price of 5, all right? So my quantity on this first one is 40, which is going to be closer to the 45 than it is to the 30. All right, and I'm going to put that dot kind of right there. So on that dot, next up, I'm going to stay in quantity A, right, and I'm going to go to 35 and 10. So it looks like I'm going down this time, which is a little different than last time. Again, I'm going to be nice and close to that 30, but not on that 30. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go to a quantity of 20 at a price of 13. But Mr. Mars, there's no 13. We know this, right? We've got this. You guys can handle this, right? So there's about 13 right there, and it's about 20 right there. And then the last one is at a quantity of 15 at a price of $15, which is going to be perfect right there. All right, so what we do now is we just connect our dots. All right, forgive me, my stylus is terrible that I'm writing with here. All right, so we're going to call this quantity A. All right. Next up, we're going to do a separate line for quantity B. So we're going to start with a price of $50, or a quantity of 50 at a price of 5, right, which is going to fit right about there. All right, next up, we're going to take a look of a price of 40 at 10. All right, so we're going to go up here, and we're going to go pretty close there again. Kind of falls on the same line with our other 40, which is there. So graphing once can kind of help you set this up appropriately the second time. Back up to a price of 13, and at 13 we've sold 30. All right. And then last but not least, we have 20 at a price of 15. So our quantity is 20 and our price is 15. All right. Now once I connect these, all right, this is my B. All right, my points don't cross, and that's going to be okay. Sometimes you'll have ones that cross, sometimes you won't. In about a week, you'll probably understand why. And that's kind of where I'm going to leave you guys today. So be on your best behavior. Let's try to get this done today in class. Not too much. Tomorrow we'll do circular flow diagrams. Start with volunteers and end with alphabetical order. So I may start at the front, I may start at the back. Heck, I may start in the middle and do one on each side. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. Just make sure you guys are ready to go on that tomorrow. Have a wonderful afternoon off this afternoon. Make sure you guys are ready to go. Take care of yourselves. All right? Bye.